Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Annie Brock, and I am so glad you're here with me today for this session of Learn, Do, Grow, Repeat. If we've never met before, you should know that I am driven to inspire people, encouraging them to look beyond their circumstances, see their possibilities, and take action to make their dreams become their reality. In what seems like a previous life now, I was an Army paratrooper and a medevac helicopter pilot. I'm a lifetime Girl Scout, and I was once a sales director with a global cosmetics company. Today, I'm the president and CEO of the Leader Transition Institute. Before we get started, I want to say something about how I look today. I've got shingles on my face and neck, and most of the rest of my body, which suggests I've got the rarest form of the disease. I did the right thing. I got the shingles vaccine when I was supposed to, and I went to the doctor and was prescribed antiviral medication in the first 72 hours. So even though I've been extremely uncomfortable for the last 6 days and still am today, what I'm dealing with could be worse. Why am I telling you this? In hopes that you do the right things too, so that if you ever get shingles, you'll know you could have a worse case of it. My inner naysayer had a field day about going on camera like this. She said things like, maybe you should wait until you look more human. But here's the deal. I'm not here today because I'm camera ready. I'm here because someone out there needs to hear this message now. And the message, it's way more important than the messenger. So I'm showing up, shingles, doubts and all, because if I can push past some intense itching and that voice in my head for 10 or 15 minutes, maybe you can too. Now, whether you're tuning in live or catching the replay, I want you to take a moment and breathe. You've given yourself the gift of time today. And trust me, this conversation is one we all need. We're diving into something deeply personal, but universally human, our inner naysayer. You know that one. The voice that says you're not enough. You can't do it. Why even try? Let's be real. We all have an inner naysayer, and some of ours have megaphones. But today, I want to help you turn that volume down and maybe even hand the mic to someone new. Let's talk about what this inner voice really is. It's that inner critic that says, I'm not smart enough to go back to school. Someone else is better for that promotion. I'll never be successful. Here's the thing. Your inner naysayer isn't trying to destroy you. It thinks it's protecting you. It's like a nervous bodyguard that's read way too many worst-case scenario manuals. This voice is usually born from your past. Things people said, things you believed about yourself, or tough experiences that shaped you. It shows up as fear, doubt, insecurity, perfectionism. But it does not speak the truth. It speaks in distortions, exaggerations, and recycled lies. About a dozen years ago, I was invited to speak at a leadership conference. And you know what my first thought was? Why would they want me? That voice, the naysayer, kicked in immediately. And I almost turned it down. But something in me whispered back, what if you are the right person for this moment? So I said yes. And that event led to 3 new connections and 1 heartfelt message from an attendee that reminded me exactly why my voice matters. So imagine if I'd let that first voice win. You know, changing focus, moving from we to me almost didn't happen. Not because the idea wasn't ready, but because I didn't think people would support me leading it. I'm a veteran. I've worn the uniform, served my country, and I know what transition feels like. But I'm also a military spouse. And for a long time, that's the only way people saw me. Not as a veteran, not as someone who truly got it. I worried that no one would take me seriously, that the program would be dismissed before it ever had a chance to make a difference. So I waited. I delayed. And all the while, the need was still there and growing. And then one day, someone I respected looked me in the eye and asked point blank, "When are you going to start that program?" And before the doubts could flood in, the ones whispering, "You're just a military spouse. No one sees you as a veteran. No one will support this." I blurted out 2 words that changed everything: this summer. And that was it. No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more letting other people's perceptions or my fear of them dictate my timing. That moment called my bluff, and I said yes. I was a veteran. I was a military spouse. I was both. But more importantly, I was ready to lead. That conversation pulled me past the hesitation, past the second guessing, and into action. And I've never looked back. Because sometimes the best way to silence your inner naysayer is to speak your intention out loud before fear has the chance to talk you out of it. When we believe our inner critic, we stop taking action. And as the great Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You don't apply for that job. You don't speak up in the meeting. You don't pursue the relationship. You don't try the new idea. And the domino effect begins. One missed opportunity leads to another and another. The more we give in, the more we stay stuck. We stay safe, but not fulfilled. We live small, not because we're small, but because we let fear make our decisions. That's the real damage that our inner naysayer wreaks in our lives. Today, I want to help you flip the script. I'm going to share 7 ways, and I'll put them in the comments as I say them, that you can start reclaiming your power from that inner naysayer. And the first one is to take small action. Don't wait to feel confident. Do the thing anyway. Prove your naysayer wrong with action, not arguments. Number 2, ask, would I say this to someone I love? If not, don't say it to yourself. You deserve the same grace you give others. Oh, I said the wrong one. Put the wrong one again. Sorry about that. Here we go with the correct one. Being live has its things. There we go. You need to trace the origin. That's number 3. Is that voice yours or someone else's that you've been carrying with you? Often, it's old programming that no longer serves you. Here's number 4. Challenge the worst case scenario. Play it out in your head. Is it really that bad? Can you recover? Usually, fear loses its power when we shine a light on it. I want you to recall a past win. You've done hard things before. You've overcome. Let that evidence speak louder than your fear. Make a list of those hard things and keep it where you can pull it out if you need to. The helmet on the shelf behind me is one of my hard thing reminders. The Army's jump school is 3 weeks long. It took me 9 weeks to get through it. I never failed anything. I got hurt. The flu went through our barracks. There was a cycle break. I showed up for training every day that I was allowed to, and I graduated. Finally. But what if I had stopped on the first day like so many men in my class did? When I got back to the company area with my wings, they were still there picking up trash and cigarette butts, waiting for an alternate assignment because they had dropped out of the course. Speak a new truth. I want you to create affirmations or declarations, not toxic positivity, but grounded truth. Instead of saying, I'll never be enough, say, I'm learning, growing, and showing up. And that's enough today. And the last thing that I want you to do is I want you to get curious. One way to shift the power dynamic with your inner critic is to get curious. When something doesn't go as planned, instead of spiraling into shame, try asking, what happened here? What can I learn? In 2017, while changing focus, moving from we to me was still just an idea written out on a piece of paper, I launched the Bold Leaders Lab. I modeled it after one of John Maxwell's very successful programs that I had participated in. And it flopped. And you know what my inner critic said? See, you're not cut out for this. That voice was loud. But I made a promise to myself. I'd give myself 24 hours to feel badly, and then I'd get curious. What could I learn? What could I tweak? That failure turned out to be an important lesson. I haven't tried a new version of it yet, but I might one day. Sometimes the naysayer isn't predicting the future. It's just reacting to the past. We don't have to take its advice. When we meet our failures with curiosity instead of criticism, we give ourselves the chance to grow instead of shrink. The naysayer gets quieter and the learner gets louder. Let me ask you a question, and I want you to pop your answer into the comments if you're live or journal it if you're watching later. What's one thing your inner naysayer tells you? And I'll look in the comments. The comments are a little slow, but that's okay. What I want you to do is to take that one thing that your naysayer tells you and rewrite it. Turn I'll never be enough into I'm learning to believe I already am. Turn I can't do this into I'm figuring it out, one step at a time. Ah, I see one now. Your naysayer says, it tells me I am not worthy. And that's perfect for I'm learning to believe I am worthy. I really already am. And you are. Each of us is enough. As a person, we are enough. We may not have all the resources we need. We may not know all the resources we need to do the things that are on our hearts, but we are enough to do that. Now I want you to take a breath. Doesn't that feel better? Here's the truth. Your inner naysayer does not get the final word. You do. And when you begin to quiet that voice and step into your real power, life opens up in ways you couldn't imagine. You'll try, you'll grow, you'll connect, and you'll live, not just survive. And if what I've shared resonated with you, I encourage you to take some small steps. When your naysayer tries to speak up, stop and journal that and write what your truth teller says instead. And then I want you to say that out loud. Your subconscious needs to hear your truth in your voice. Now, if you're a service member in transition or within 2 years of that time, if you're a veteran of any era, if you're a military spouse, I invite you to join us for an upcoming cohort of Changing Focus, Moving from We to Me. It's 24 hours over 4 days that will help you reset, refocus, and rediscover what's next. And you'll be surrounded by others who are walking that same journey. I'm going to put the registration link into the comments. And if you're a leader of a military or veteran-connected nonprofit, I invite you to join us at the Military Veteran Nonprofit Summit on Friday, June 13th. It's a day of learning, connection, and practical insight to help you lead with clarity, grow your impact, and serve even more effectively. You don't have to go it alone, and you don't have to wait until everything's perfect. The next step is waiting for you. We'd be honored to walk alongside you. Thank you for being here with me today. I'll see you again next month on June 24th at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Bye-bye.